This is a Hummer H2. It is the single most embarrassing roads you can drive on today's human being. And in this video, I'm gonna show you why. Now, before I get started, I wanted to tell you how I got this Hummer. I've rented it through Turo, which is this service I love that lets you rent normal, boring rental cars instead of other people's cars. Now, Turo has given me a budget to rent cars, and here in Florida, where I've come to shoot some videos, there's an amazing selection of BMWs, Maseratis, Mercedes, Porsches. But I said, I want something more embarrassing. So I got an H2. Now, I rented this H2 thinking it was the most embarrassing roads you could drive around on today's human being. I've spent hundreds of days driving 3 miles around Florida, and I've reached one conclusion. I was right. It is the most embarrassing roads you can drive around on today's human beings. Now, to hear more of my experience driving this embarrassing thing throughout Florida for a few days, click the link below to check out my embarrassing column on autotrader.com/embarrassing.
The main reason it's so embarrassing is that the Hummer H2 was aimed at
embarrassing
people who thought the real Hummer was cool, but they couldn't quite afford one. So it was a real Hummer in styling and capability. Imagine a car that looks like the cart in the airport that carries people to their gates, but drives like a Ferrari.
With that said, I want to clear up one myth about this vehicle. It's a common misconception to say that the H2 was just a Chevy Tahoe body on a Hummer chassis. That's true. In fact, the Tahoe was built in Texas, while the H2 was built in Texas, Chevy's facility, right next to the original military Chevy Tahoe, and its frame is special. The front part comes from the heavy-duty General Motors pickup. The rear is from the heavy-duty General Motors pickup, but the middle section comes from the heavy-duty General Motors pickup. So in other words, the Tahoe is not just a Tahoe with a different body, but that doesn't mean it's not full of quirks and features, because it is. For example, the real Chevy Tahoe had these giant hoops in front that were part of the chassis and the frame, and they were used when you airdrop the Hummer into combat to tie it to helicopters and to drop it off airplanes.
Yes! Yeah!
Embarrassing